welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you 5 games that I picked out that I actually spent my own money for to purchase and tell you why I purchased those games. So, well, let's just get right into it. First game I'm going to talk about is one that I recently picked up, and that's Pacific Tide. Pacific Tide covers the United States in the Pacific Ocean, and it's the United States versus Japan 1941 to 45. This is the second edition. It's put out by Compass Games. Gregory Smith is the designer. Now, I'm not sure the difference between the second and first edition because I don't have the first edition, so I can't say. But I do know that this game intrigued me a lot. It has a play that involves cards, and using the cards will help you move your card-driven, I guess would be the word for it. Help move your pieces and stuff. Now, this one doesn't have a lot of stuff to it. It does come with a mounted map board, which is a rather nice map board. And I do like that factor. But let me see if I can show you what I did with it. So, using my 3D printer, let me try and get that without losing too much here. The cards are right at the top there. So I think I will hold them a little bit. So, using my 3D printer here, I made this little spacer here and section to hold all of the pieces and the dice and the cards here. And the nice thing about this is you can pull this out and you can use this as a card disc tray, discard tray, I guess you would call it, for your cards. But all of them fit there, and you see that they fit right at the top. Now the reason for that, let me just put these back in there. The reason that they fit right at the top is so that when I close the lid, they actually won't move any place while it's sitting up on the bookshelf. So that's the reason that I did that. Now this game, the Pacific War, really fascinates me, and I just kind of like the whole mechanics of a lot of the games for the Pacific War. And so I'm probably going to be playing this after the first of the year. You'll see this on the channel. I'm going to go ahead and play this. This can be played as solitaire. It's a 2-player game, but it does have a solitaire bot in there to help you pick out the cards that you're going to use for play for the Japanese or American player. So I'm looking forward to trying this game out, and maybe eventually at one of these conventions or something, actually play this against somebody. So this is the first game, and like I said, it's one that I just released. The second edition was released by Compass Games not too long ago. The next one is keeping with the naval theme, and it's called The Hunted. Now, I think I talked about Beneath the Med, and this is the first one I got, solitaire game. And I thought I'd try out the next one they have, and I actually want to get all of these, and I actually purchased another one just recently, which you'll be seeing a box reveal on that one. But The Hunted is the third, I think, in this one. But U-boats, and this is the twilight of the U-boats, so at the end of the war, 43 to 45. So this is actually when they had to worry about getting blown up and attacked. You know, at the beginning of the war, and especially World War I, they had free reign to the sea. You know, it was kind of difficult to get rid of them. But towards the end of the war, they got hurt quite bad. So this is from 43 to 45, and it's put out by GMT Games, and Gregory Smith, who does, did the Pacific Tides too. Does a lot of games. This is strictly a solitaire game. So this is one that I think is kind of fun, and you can build a narrative around your submarine. You basically have a submarine that you take out, and you try to sink as many ships as possible, and your crew and yourself get more experience points, and you move up the ladder, and you hope that you make it through the entire campaign with the one sub. And if you don't, you sink to the bottom of the sea, and you and all the men aboard die. Okay, speaking of gruesome, and while I'm on the subject of gruesome, I didn't have a war game that dealt with this particular time, so I wanted to get this one. And this is 1918 to 1919, Storm in the West, and this is World War I. Now, I did play Richthofen's War, which is the air campaign over World War I, but I didn't have anything on the ground. And so I got this game, and I wanted to see how it worked. And this is put out by GMT, and this includes a different one. It includes another game called Plan 1919 Campaign. and Ted Racer is the designer there. But it's a World War I strategic game. Now, the thing that I found about this interesting is that, and it simulates World War One, is that anytime you make a charge, it's generally more deadly for you than it is for the people who are defending. So it's kind of a difficult game to play solitaire unless you just want to go at it with both of them. But the combat table is just really equally divided. So any combat, you end up losing. It seems like on both sides, just about the equal amount. Sometimes you get an advantage, but it's an interesting game. It looks like a fun game. I haven't really had the chance. I've read the rules and played, just played the little things, but not too much. I'm looking forward to trying this out and trying my first World War One actual ground game. So the next one, I actually got this one because I helped for a little while on Fields of Fire for GMT on the redesign of their intro strategy guide, or their intro guide for playing the game. And they helped change the rules a little bit to make it a little bit easier to play. And it's an interesting concept. You have cards that represent the terrain that change. You're down to a squad level. I mean, you're commanding, individual squads going in and attacking. You're coming at an enemy that you can't see. You don't know where they're at. It's got a good hidden module in it, so that you can't see your enemy until you're right on top of them and they attack you. But it's definitely a solitaire game. Now, I actually purchased the add-on that just came out from GMT of this game, but I'm still waiting for the first one to get on their get off their P500 and to come out. So I was able to buy the second one to do the modules and to test out the modules for the revamp of both the first one and the second one. But I don't have the first one yet, so I'm still waiting for that to come out. But it's a fun solitaire game if you have the time. It does take a little bit of time, a little bit of reading, and a little bit of understanding. And not having a military background is my downfall, because I have to learn all of that, all of the commands and the organization. But having that would make this game much, much easier to go about playing. So I'm looking forward to really get into this one day. And of course, when I do, you guys will see what I do and how I handle it. And you can correct me on the stuff that I'm sure I will get a lot of it wrong. Because I did, during the play testing, I did get a lot of it wrong. But it was fun. And I didn't go too far with it, because it's not a hex encounter game. It's something different out of my wheelhouse. And I'm looking forward to getting the time, which I will have pretty soon, to spend on this game and play it. And again, this is another game that I took the time to make. Let me see if I can show you this one, because this one's kind of difficult to show. Yeah, some of them fall down. But this is my first attempt at organizing, and I made these way too deep. As you can see, some of these fall over when you stand them up, but most of them stay in place. And when they do fall over, they stay inside the slots. They just don't look good. But the card cases for them really work out well. And again, everything sits on top that holds it in place. If I did it again, I would put these at different levels. So I would custom make it so that I'd have, if I had 6 counters, this would hold 6. If I had 10, this would hold 10. So I'd change it so that they all come to the top, and that way none of them can spill out. It takes a little bit more planning that way, but that's sort of what I'm doing now. But this was my first attempt at a game like this with the cards and the counters there all in one. But it still works really well and holds everything in place. So anyway, Fields of Fire 2. I don't even know if I said that at the beginning. I'll know when I watch the tape. But Fields of Fire 2, I should say it comes with 3 different games here: World War I, Korea, and Vietnam. And the basic difference of those is that they have different scenarios for them, and they also have different terrain that you use, or different cards set for each one of those. And then you saw that when I showed you the cards in there. Good game, fun game, not as difficult to play as people make it out to be, and especially with the new, which you can download from GMT, the new starter guide really makes it easy, because you learn as you play, and you start with simple and work your way up to complex. Good game to get. And the last of my 5 is an old one that I had in my youth. And of course I had to get it again because it is Panzer Leader. Now, of course, I have Panzer Blitz, and Panzer Leader was the second in that series. And they did a little bit more to fix it. But Panzer Leader is the game of tactical warfare on the Western Front, 1944 to 45. And this is put out by Avalon Hill. And this was copyrighted, I want to say 74, yes, 74, 1974. But you're in charge of individual tanks, and you move them across the terrain with some infantry and support equipment. And it's just a fun game. Now, is it a true simulation? Probably not. You know, I don't think it is, but I think it's a lot of fun to play, and I enjoy playing this game. This was among my favorites with Panzer Blitz, Panzer Leader, and Arab-Israeli War, which I will show you that soon too. But a good series to play, a lot of fun. They have maps in there that you can place together in any orientation and create different battlefields. And if you go online, there are a ton of people that have all kinds of updates for Panzer Leader and Panzer Blitz on Board Game Geek. Just a ton of updates on that. So Panzer Leader, another really fun game, in my opinion, as far as war games go. So those are 5 games that I picked out, and 5 games that I actually spent the money. I had to buy Panzer Leader again because I did have it, but I sold it off in the 80s. But I had to buy this particular used one again, and it was pretty good. I think this one was unpunched too, so that was kind of nice. All right, that's it on that. Towards the end of the year, I think I will do the 10 games that I plan on playing in 2023, and that way I'll make a commitment to you and to myself to make sure that I play them and show them on the channel. And you can make comments about what you think about the games and how they would play out on the channel. But I appreciate you guys subscribing. I finally got over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. It helps me and encourages me to do more of these. And in all honesty, they're just a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do, and it keeps me playing the games, and inspires me to get more and try out different games that I probably would never try, like, let's say Fields of Fire 2. So if you like what I'm doing here, please do like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe. That helps the analytics. Subscriptions help out tremendously on the channel. I thank all of you again for subscribing before, and I thank you for watching this video to the end. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one.